Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome channel. I hope you're having a lovely day and an extra kia ora and tēnā koutou because we are here in lovely Aotearoa, New Zealand, visiting some whānau, which is family for those who aren't familiar with the lingo here. And the lovely folks over at Kia Australia put us in touch with the just as lovely folks at Kia New Zealand who got us a lovely Kia EV5 Lite Plus, I think is the term for it, to use while we are here and going on some road trips around the North Island of New Zealand. One little point to look at with this is that the Kia EV5 Lite Plus in New Zealand is not the same as the entry-level model in Australia.
Okay.
So there's a couple of differences. I'll list a whole bunch of them later on because I don't know them right now. I can't remember them right now. But we are looking at an electric road trip, which we haven't done for quite some time.
This is true.
My lovely wife is with me and lovely Archie is back there in the back. Benny, would you like to cover some of the things that we normally talk about for EV road trips if people have not been on electric car road trips before?
Oh gosh, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's why I'm throwing it over to you because I can't remember some stuff as well.
So we usually talk about range.
Mm-hmm.
This one's got a pretty good range.
Big battery.
Big battery.
So when we picked it up, and I think like around 100%. And again, the range is always kind of, it depends on conditions and all that kind of stuff.
Depends on the conditions, it depends on how much you're driving, it depends on how much you're using air conditioning, not using air conditioning, all those sorts of things.
But when we got in the car for the first time, like with a full battery, it was saying that the range was like 600 kilometers, which is pretty full on.
Yep.
Now, we'll get into that in a bit. We've actually done something that we've actually not done before with an electric road trip, is we haven't filled the battery up to 100% for the trip, because we've been using this, we've been driving it around Auckland for about a week now, and the range has just been so good in terms of just doing everyday stuff that we're really, and also we've got a lot of experience in these, we're really quite relaxed about the...
Oh my God, so relaxed.
Yeah. So we're not going particularly far on this road trip. We're only doing about 200 Ks, not even, like 100 and something. No, it's about 200 and something. And we got in the car this morning and had 68%.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, well, there's charges along the way, so,
And we do need to stop and do some grocery shopping on the way. And I think you said that there's one of the places we're going to stop and do grocery shopping. There's some charges there, so we'll do our usual kill two birds with one stone business, and rather than stop to charge, we'll charge while we're stopped.
And another thing to keep in mind with that is that when you are so on the way the batteries work, and if you've seen all our videos before, you're very familiar with this, but if you haven't, I will let you know. The way the batteries work in electric cars, actually the way a lot of batteries work, is they charge really quickly from 20 to 80%. But that last 80 to 20%, that could take just as long as it got you from 20 to 80.
Yeah.
So we actually don't, because we're not driving that far, relatively speaking, on this road trip. I'm just going to take over because I had the, all the cruise control and everything turned on for the car while we were on the highway.
Oh my God, that car in front of us
that
is
so cool.
Sorry.
That car in front of us, hopefully the cameras that there's looking in front is picking up enough of that car. They really should have like a flag or something because it's so low, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
I think it's three-wheel.
Yeah, Archie was saying, I think it is a three-wheeler. Now,
is.
It's also interesting how, so the speed limit here is 80 kilometers an hour. And as usual, we're annoying people by driving to the speed limit.
We're a little bit slower, slightly slower at this stage, but we do seem to often be the only schmucks who drive
to the speed limit.
To the speed limit.
But yes, so getting back to the battery. So if we started with a full battery, and the camera's probably gone all dark now because we've just in a tunnel, but
we'll be out of the tunnel soon, and you can imagine what we look like.
Yeah, at the moment it's radio. I apologise. So because we're not driving that far, by the time we got to the fast charge in Warkworth, which I think is where we're planning on stopping to do groceries and stuff, and it's like 200 kilowatt charger, so plenty fast. By the time we got there, we'd only be down to like 80 or 70%. And so we'd plug in and we'd charge really slowly, even though it's a fast charger, we wouldn't be getting the full advantage of it. And the fast chargers do cost more.
So you want to kind of get the full advantage for as much time as you're there.
Yeah, so if you're getting to a fast charger, you actually want to get there like around the 30, 20% battery capacity, because otherwise you're paying extra and you're not getting the advantage of all the speed that you'd be getting otherwise. So yeah, generally with road trips, you would take, you would try and get to your fast charger at 20% and leave when you're at 80 and not go all the way to 100, unless you're having lunch or something and you want it to take a little bit longer, because otherwise it's like, sorry, Archie?
And like when, like what you were saying about like the lunch is like, if you're in like a group and there's some people who have bigger meals, then it would take a bit longer.
Yeah. So in case you didn't pick it up from the microphone, Archie was saying, you know, if you got some folks who are eating a bit more or they eat a bit slowly, like my mother, we're visiting my mum's side of the family, and I'd forgotten, just not that it makes a difference. Enjoy your food, eat slowly, you shouldn't rush, but she eats very slowly. Good for her. Small bites, it's good.
She's mindful.
Yeah. You know what, I don't know why I'm being nice. She's not going to watch this. Interesting random story, which if you've never been to this channel before,
Lots of them.
that's what it's a big part of the channel. So we're going over the lovely Auckland Harbour Bridge. I'm a Kiwi. I love my fellow Kiwis. There are times when we don't think things through.
Like this.
Yeah, I think that there's an element of the Kiwi psyche, or maybe it was and isn't anymore, I don't know, where we don't think big enough sometimes. And what I mean by that is, so the Auckland Harbour Bridge, there are like 4 lanes on the inside of the Auckland Harbour Bridge, so 2 lanes going in each direction, which is how it was designed. And then very quickly they realized that that wasn't enough lanes. And so they designed, again, lovely Kiwi ingenuity, they designed and added what they call clip-ons, which is an extra 2 lanes on the outside sides to make it 4 lanes in both way. But it's like, probably should have built it with those lanes in the first place.
I mean, surely it would have been a bit cheaper to build it that way in the first place, but at least we have the clip-ons.
Yeah, and you know, sort of found a way around it and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty car.
That is I think it's a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Fancy.
Is that car you once got stuck in?
That is, so yeah, another side story. So my day job is like video production, and I was working for someone else, a different production company, and we were shooting a promotion for a company in Melbourne that owns like a whole bunch of sports cars, and they rent them out so people want to, you know, drive them for the weekend or whatever. So we were shooting a promo for that, and I got into a Lamborghini to film some stuff inside the Lamborghini, and I couldn't work out how the doors worked, and I actually had to call them and go, "Can someone please let me out?" So yeah, it's you know, we live and we learn.
When we say that you're not a car guy, we mean that you're not a car guy.
I'm one of the few people in the world, I would imagine, who's been trapped inside a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And wanted to get out.
This is true. Anyway.
So back to the battery stuff. Yes, it's really interesting. So the other reason why I almost deliberately left with only 68% battery is so that when we get to our first sort of fast charger, I actually want my battery to be a lot lower so that we get the faster charge.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're not actually navigating to there. We're actually navigating to a place where the kids are going to have lunch. And so that's kind of thing. So we're only 22 minutes away, and then we'll sort of keep going. A few things that I really like about this vehicle, and I'll do the whole sandwich thing, but in the wrong way around. I'll start off with, it's interesting how there's a lot of features that I would prefer that this car doesn't have, and most of them are like techie things, because I'm really techie, so it's like little bits and bobs, and we'll get to those. And a lot of those features are available in the upper range models of the EV5 in New Zealand, and I think some of those are available in the entry-level model of the EV5 in Australia. But if we ignore those for a moment, and we'll get to those, some things that I really like about this car, it is a very comfortable drive. Like, it is smooth, you know, if you're on rough roads or anything like that. So the cruise control I really like, because, you know, standard cruise control works pretty well, keeps you in the lane, so you can actually sort of turn it on and keeps you in the lane. But something I like about it is that when you change lanes, like, you turn your indicator on, you change lanes, turn your indicator off, you're in the new lane, it automatically turns it turns it off when you do that, but it automatically turns it all back on.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Whereas we drive a Model Y back home, and unless you've paid the extra $5,000 for enhanced autopilot, when you've got the cruise control and everything turned on, you change lanes, it turns it off, you've got to turn it back on.
Yeah.
So that is a nice feature that I like about the EV5. Interesting thing, and again, this might be, you know, this particular model, every time I've gone to do the like auto lane change, so it's going to change the lanes for us, it says the lane's not supported.
Even though it's a highway lane.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll have to do some research. I'll put down a label or something. I think this model may not actually have that feature.
Fair enough, if it's the absolute entry level.
Yeah. So that might be it. So the thing I really like about the car as well is that it's quite a high, like you definitely, you know, you feel quite high up when you're in this car.
Yeah.
And to give you an idea of sort of just high up it feels. So my mum
Is shorter than he is.
is shorter than me, and every time we come over to visit them in Auckland, we're driving past this place that's near them. There's a house near them that looks like a castle, and every time we drive past, it's actually really cute that they always, well, go this way and we'll go past the house that looks like a castle. And I was driving Mum somewhere in this car and we're driving past. She goes, oh, there's a house nearby that looks like a castle. And as we drive past, she's like, wow, I'm seeing more of it than I've ever seen before.
She's like,
it's like driving past it in a bus. So you know, if you like cars where you feel high up.
Yeah. I will say, so interesting. The car looks big. It's a boxy car. It looks big. When we first picked it up, it was, I don't know, I think, I speak for you, it felt as if we were bigger than everyone else. And it was like you're driving very nervously because you're thinking, okay, this is big. How am I going to fit into a car park? How wide are we? Where's the front? But within a couple of days, you get very comfortable in it. Like you said, it's a very comfortable drive. It feels very comfortable inside. It's big, but it doesn't feel big once you get used to it.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, and it's funny, like one of the things that I was having a chat to one of the lovely Kia folks over here, and I was saying to them, you know, I was saying that one of the things that I really like about the car is the lane keeping assistant, that not for highway driving, but just for everyday driving. It's actually got a feature where it will, if you start edging out, you know, across your lane, it'll actually, the steering wheel will kind of vibrate a little bit, and it will actually sort of
correct you.
Yeah, the car will sort of push you back into the lane. And he was like, oh, you really like that? Because most people, you know,
turn that off.
And I said to him, well, the thing is, like, at first it freaked me out. Like I was like, oh, like I don't have control kind of thing. And I can see how a lot of people would not like that.
Yeah.
But I said to him, at least at first, because it feels to me like the car is so wide, I wasn't confident for the first day or two that I was safely staying within my lane kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I actually, once I got over the first one or two times when it happened, it was freaking me out, kind of like, hang on, am I driving or are you driving? Actually, it helped me feel a bit more confident driving the car, like down a couple of narrow streets and things like that. And even like getting down a narrow driveway or anything like that. My brother's got a really narrow driveway here. And you know, getting down it is just fine. And then I have to do like a 7 or 8 point turn to kind of turn around in his parking area. But it's perfectly doable.
It's absolutely perfectly doable. And I know that when we first arrived, the first time we parked at your parents' place, we parked like far out, didn't want to go all the way into the car spot because you're not sure if you're going to have enough space. But very quickly realized, actually, it's, again, not as big as it feels when you first get into it. What are we doing?
Traffic.
We're hitting traffic.
So something that I really like about this car that it has over Teslas is that you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is wireless, which is really nice. So you don't have to, on the one hand, you don't have to plug your phone in to connect to the car. It just connects via Bluetooth. It works perfectly. It's fantastic. But in this particular model, you don't get a wireless charger for the phone. So in upper range models, this little bit here in the middle, and I'll play some B-roll to show you, like the thing in the middle, you put your phone down, it's a wireless charger, but in this model it isn't. So you still have to plug your phone in anyway, but wireless is nice. So it is really nice to be able to use Waze or Apple Maps or whatever your maps of choice is on the car dash. Also beautiful, nice big dash. One little bit of criticism with this, and I've experienced this in a couple of Kia vehicles, is these buttons down here. This is a touch screen, and very often when I'm trying to do something on the actual touch screen here, not touch screen, but the touch buttons, the palm of my hand will tap one of these buttons and it pulls me out of the menu and puts me to something else.
Yeah, I would like it if you could turn those off, like activate them or deactivate them. Because
maybe you can, to be honest. I haven't looked.
We'll have to look.
So we'll have to look and see if you can turn those off. Let us know in the comments if you know whether we can or can't turn those off. Something that could be a little bit better, a couple of things. I love one pedal driving. For those who aren't familiar, one pedal driving in an electric car effectively lets you drive it like a golf buggy. If you've never driven one, you don't use the brake. Basically, as you lift your foot off the accelerator, the car will slow the wheels down like it's using brakes, and sometimes it'll use brakes or not, but it actually, the process of slowing the wheels down, it takes that energy and puts it back into the battery. So you're actually putting a little bit of battery power back into the battery when you go downhill and stuff, or when you're just slowing down. I love one pedal driving. For me, like once I got used to it, I never want to go back, kind of thing. The nice thing with the Kias is that, and this is across all Kias, is that you have a choice in the sense that you've got these paddles on the steering wheel, and I can use the right paddle to lessen the amount of regenerative braking. So it sort of drives like a standard car, accelerator brake. So you can go all the way from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to maximum full one pedal driving. The thing is though, every time you change gears, it resets it back to like level 3, I think, or level 2, or so
you've got to redo it every single time.
Yeah.
It's something that I've noticed with the Kias that we've looked at, is that settings don't seem to be saved either. So you've got to reset that every time, but also every time there are a few settings that we turn on and off when we get in the car. Just things, within, if there's a speed limit warning system or things like that, that we turn on or turn off, and it doesn't remember your changes. So even though you've got a profile, every time you get in, you need to set those things up again, which is not necessarily the best experience. Yeah,
it's interesting because if you've watched any of our Kia reviews before, this isn't the first time we've mentioned this kind of thing. I'm sure they have a design.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for it.
But it would be nice if Kia were able to just give us the option to, not have to push like 3 buttons every time we get in the car to turn things off or turn things on.
Yeah, it just seems, because you do already, you have a profile that you set up, so surely having a profile should mean that there are settings that you could save.
That it remembers and things like that. And again, if anyone knows why they do, I think most of it's got to do with safety probably.
Yeah.
And that actually, so there's a really cool thing that the lovely Kia folks mentioned to me, because it was funny, like they said to me, like I said to them, look, are there any features that I may not know about or people may not know about that you'd like me to talk about in the video? Because
that's what it's for.
It's worthwhile, and they would know. I don't know what I don't know. And he said to me, like, do you know what the SOS button does? And I almost did the whole snarky thing of, does SOS? Which, it's. I said it in my brain, didn't say it with my mouth. I do know these things sometimes, And I said, no, please tell me. And so it's actually really cool. So what it does is that if you've been in an accident or anything like that, you can push that and it'll automatically call emergency services for you and give them your location.
Cool.
And I think that one of the other reasons why he was really excited about that is because I think he was saying this is either the first Kia in Australia or it's the first electric Kia in Australia. In New Zealand, yeah. So this is the first, I don't know if this is the first Kia in New Zealand or if it's the first electric Kia in New Zealand that's got the cell connection built into it. So it's always connected to the internet kind of thing. So you can always access it from your phone, from the app and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it does that. And then if the emergency services can't get hold of you, so if you don't answer the phone, it'll automatically sort of say to them, hey, something's happened to the car. The people in the car aren't responding. Please send help. So from a safety point of view, look, you hope you never actually have to use it.
Yeah.
But
it's nice to know that you've got it,
it's nice that it's there, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the zippiness, which I suppose is something that people, like, I'm not you know, what you would describe a motorhead. It says so on the tin, not a car guy. But this car, if you need it, has got plenty of zip.
Yep.
You know, if you just need to quickly, you know, sort of indicate and, wall of traffic. If you just need to sort of quickly indicate and just kind of zip into a lane or something like that, you have the oomph. But yeah, look, that's we've waffled on plenty.
We have.
I'm going to have to edit out so much probably.
So much.
But yeah, we will catch up with you when we sort of get to our next stop or anything interesting happens.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll catch you in a bit. Welcome back, dear viewers. We jumped back in here just because I wanted to show you how a bit of the technology works with the buttons and things that you've got. I really like the UI and the look of the Kia EV5, the EV9, the EV3. I'm pretty sure they're all kind of like the same. So over here on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you've got your cruise control and your lane keep assist and all that kind of stuff. So this is your cruise control, so you switch it on and off. And up here on the dash, it shows you your cruise control and your following distance and all that sort of thing. You've also got your lane keep assist, which is this button here, which is like the steering wheel with the lanes on either side of it. And then you've got the button that Mandy was very excited about, which she says is her fart button, which changes your following distance to between 1, 2, 3, and 4. The one thing with this, and I found this with almost every car I've ever driven, is that you can't go from 1 to 4. You've got to kind of cycle through them. So many of you on the screen there. Yep.
I'm trying. Hang on a second.
Yep. Cool. You got it. And so I'm cycling now. Distance is 2. Distance is 1. You can see the little icons changing there, and up to 4, 3, so on. I generally like to keep it on 3. So I turn the lane keep assist off, and you can see that the button, you know, the icon goes off and then it comes back on. Another thing that I really like is that you've got your navigation here there, so it shows you, you know, what you have to do on the navigation, all that kind of stuff. And I'll go through some of those other things a little bit later. In order to push your speed up, this little knob on the left-hand side, you can either just push it up by increments of 1 or hold it down, and your cruise control will go up by increments of 10. So this is now a 110 zone, so we're now doing 110. We're still slower than everyone, which is our lot in life. And this button here, that just changes what you see in the center. So I see my tire pressure, I see just the navigation, and so I'll cycle through tire pressure, just navigation, and that stuff there. So that was a quick look at the cruise control and navigation kind of stuff. Something we didn't mention before, which, you know, is or isn't, is how with electric cars, they're actually the least efficient when you're driving on the highway. So with part of it is the adaptive cruise control. So, you know, when you starting in city traffic, every time you're slowing down or stopping, you're putting a bit of energy back in the battery, whereas on a highway, you're just going kind of thing.
Yeah.
There is a little up and down hills, I suppose, but overall.
And you're also going at a higher speed as well, so.
Yes, so you're pulling more out of it and all that kind of stuff. So, ideally, I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to drive like this, but ideally, if you were sort of really trying to, you know, be good kind of thing from an efficiency point of view, you would only do about 80 on the highway, and that would be still efficient.
It's also something that you can bear in mind if you are driving and your battery is fairly low, and you want to make sure that you do get to where you want to go with enough battery. It's something that you can do, which seems a little bit counterintuitive to go slower when you've got less battery, but it is a bit more efficient. Stop it.
Sorry. So Mandy has a master's in like English and stuff.
English and stuff.
By the way, have you turned your mic on?
Yeah.
You have. Okay, cool.
English and stuff.
You can tell them what it really is, but yeah. So Mandy she knows her grammar like nobody's business, and I do know the difference between fewer and less. If you can count it, it's fewer. And you're gonna hate and love this. The way that I remember it so well is I now get it wrong on purpose just to annoy her.
Yeah, he does.
I should do it fewer times. Less?
Actually,
It could be both, couldn't it?
Yes.
I know.
Damn, I got it right this time. Ah! I'm so ashamed of myself. Something else, and I'll get Manny to get some shots of this later. Don't worry, you don't have to do it now. It's funny, like we were just talking a little bit earlier that because we've been driving an electric car and sort of a bit more of a modern car for so long, there's so many features I think that we kind of take for granted now. So for example, the fact that when you indicate, you have the blind spot mirror, the blind spot camera sort of show you in the dash what's in your blind spot.
Yeah.
I still check my blind spots every now and again. I think it's probably good to. But the fact that it does have the blind spot cameras, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, should we be taking that for granted? Should we just be going, well, every car has that now? Or should we be going, that is something that's worth mentioning because not every car has that?
I think most cars these days have that to some extent, but I don't know.
Yeah, so we're actually going on a little road trip with my brother and his family. They're in a separate vehicle. And so they have just sent us where they want us to meet them for lunch.
Yeah.
So, and this is one of the things that I really love about having CarPlay or Android Auto, because it can be a little bit of a pain in the tush to try and type things into the navigation on the big screen, where it's much easier for Mandy just to pick up my phone. And again, because it's wireless, just pick up my phone and type in the address of where we want to go, and it changes on the screen. Or what's really nice on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, there's a little voice button, and so you can activate the voice assistant for your phone. I think they have one for the car, but I think most people would use it for the phone, and just say, hey, she who will not be named, navigate to wherever, and hey presto, away you go. So yeah, it's I think that might be one of those advantages that most people may not think of as like an obvious advantage.
Yeah.
To can you turn on the recycle? Because this gas guzzler in front of us is just spewing out fumes, and it's all I'm smelling right
I don't
now.
know what I'm. Press that.
Yeah, well, I'll take your word for it.
I don't know.
I'm speeding. Sorry.
You are.
This is the other. It is so easy
To speed.
in this car because it is so easy to not realise. Again, because it's so smooth and sort of comfortable to drive.
Yeah.
It is very easy to speed because
I will admit that when I first see these cars, the Kia EV range, it's not my style. The outside look is not my style because it feels so big.
and it is a very distinctive, boxy look.
Very distinctive, boxy look.
I
you
really like it.
I know that. My first inclination is, not my thing. But then we drive it, and I realize that it's really such a comfy drive that I could easily grow to love the car.
So we are about 6 minutes away. I should talk about the whole battery and range and all that kind of stuff, because again, this is the thing.
Haven't we?
We did, but it's kind of like we haven't said, we've got this. We don't stress about range anymore.
No.
It's really not anything that we just don't think about it really.
No.
But in case you're interested, so we left the house with 68%. We are now down to 53%, and the car is saying that. I'm just going to pull over so this Mercedes can zoom as much as they like. And it is predicting that with 53% we have 300 kilometres of range, which again would suggest that if we had 100% it'd be just a little over 600.
Yeah.
And we've been doing at least about an hour of highway driving, so it's, although I don't know how well it's adjusting or not adjusting, and some cars sort of very instantly kind of adjust their predicted range sort of one way or the other.
And it's also, we don't quite know, I know that our car back home has, it can be a little bit conservative at times.
Yeah, we're familiar with
whereas
its foibles and its
I'm not quite sure how conservative or not this car is.
Yeah. New Zealand has some very interesting, look, I think everywhere has
Every
them.
country, but...
Yeah, it's just because we're not used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, spaghetti, if you live in Auckland, if you've been to Auckland, like the centre of Auckland is called Spaghetti Junction because the highways and the
And
motorways.
it used to be worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's improved because I know when the first time we ever visited Auckland was way back in like 1994-ish. And that was intimidating and it was a lot worse. And then they've improved Spaghetti Junction. They've made it slightly into more like Fettuccine Junction.
That's a good way to put it. Last thing before we sort of sign off, because we're only 4 minutes away from where we're going to stop to have lunch. The aircon in this car is
Powerful.
like my hands are cold because the fans. Nice thing that you've got controllable fans in the back, which is nice.
I've just redirected one.
Yeah, you can redirect them, kind of thing. But like my hands are actually cold, like
Yeah.
almost, like I'm almost in pain, kind of thing.
You know, I could have changed the temperature.
Yeah, I know, but it was something I could talk about in the video.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the aircon.
Powerful.
No complaints here. Don't know what the heating's like, but the aircon is muy bueno.
I would like to not have to test the heating while we're here, since we're here in summer.
Well,
I mean, it is New Zealand, and we have experienced a fair bit of rain in Auckland. I mean, it is Auckland.
And it's also when the Herberts go away on holiday, we bring the water.
I think we've only had like 1 or 2 holidays where it hasn't rained.
Yeah.
And that's in all the time that we have been a threesome of a family.
Now, that is, so the pack and save is on our right, which is, there are the charges that we are going to use when we come and do some grocery shopping.
Yep.
So we will be coming back this way to just top up the car. Again, we're not going to go past 80%.
No, we're going to top the car up while we do some grocery shopping.
Yeah. Actually, I think what we'll do is you go in and do the grocery shopping.
Yep.
Also, that way I won't buy anything that we don't need.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'll do it at some point. But I'll stay in the car because
It'll charge
so fast.
We'll
I think,
need to move.
yeah, we'll want to move the car
Yeah.
before we do it. But yeah, so I
And
think
we might buy some typical Kiwi things to show off on the channel.
yes. So ironic, really funny. We weren't planning on doing it, or at least I wasn't planning on doing it. So if you've seen our road trip videos before, we always have pakos, which is so like a South African thing of food for the road.
Yep.
So we always have snacks, and we normally have some biltong and some dry balls and what have you. And there's at least 2 South African shops near my parents' place, but we're kind of like, okay, whatever. But we weren't planning on doing it. But the place where we stopped to get some food for the kids, there was a South African store there. So we got some dry balls, we got some biltong and stuff because we can't help ourselves. We'll add that into the snack section of the
road trip video.
Yeah,
can't let the fans down. I don't know if any of you actually care about it or are fans of it, but can't let the fans down.
Cannot. We will catch up in a bit.
Okay.
Welcome back. We are about a minute out from the Pack and Save in Warkworth. That's where we are?
Yes, that is where we are.
Yes, good. In fact, we're just pulling up there, and that is where the ChargeNet fast chargers are. So we want to stop and get some groceries and stuff, and at the same time we are going to charge the car. Don't even need to really, because we're only down to 51%. So we were supposed to turn there, not here. Okay. That's all right. We will just go round a bit.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know
I think
if we can go in there.
Looks like it's open there. My brother's going to go, why are we following this idiot? Because he's going the wrong way. There we go, custom entrance.
Okay.
All
right.
And I remember I saw they're over there.
They're back there.
Nice and easy to find.
Which is a bonus because
Also, they're painted red.
and they're all being
being used. Okay, that's right. We will, hopefully people won't be using them for very long.
Yeah.
And we will pop in when they're available. Also, we don't need to use them for very long.
No.
So,
But it is interesting to see that they are all being used.
holiday weekend and all that.
They're not being iced.
Yeah, which is always pleasant.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that there's plenty of parking here, right? So it's not as though they're not in a prime parking
Yeah,
spot.
which is actually, I think, a smarter idea.
It's very smart. They're easy to see. They're easy to get into as well.
Yeah. And they are marked like
Yes.
EV kind of thing. So, everyone's doing what they can. But yeah, I suppose you got
And it's interesting, we've got 2 Teslas. We've got a Peugeot
and a
Hyundai Kona.
Yeah, nice,
Selection.
nice variety.
Yeah.
And I think I see people walking towards one of them, maybe. Yes,
Yes.
they're going towards the Model 3. So, Mandy, you go
I'm
off
gonna go and do some grocery shopping.
grocery shopping. And we will take the spot that Model 3 is in and start charging.
Yes. All right. I will see you when I get back.
Okay. Hello. So 1 minute to go before, I said we'd probably get up to 80% according to the car at 2:26. It is 2:25. It's saying that it's got 2 minutes until it'll get to 80%. And here it is showing that we would need 25 minutes to get all the way up to 100%, which we don't need to because
Nope.
we've got...
But it's interesting to say that 100% is 636 kilometers.
Yeah, that's... I mean, it'd be nice to get up to 100% and just kind of test it at some point.
I know, but
Not on this drive.
No.
But yeah, so here we go. So we will... and ChargeNet... Also, ChargeNet just... notification just came up. I think it's saying you're getting up to 80%.
yeah, you might want to.
You might want to sort of be on your way. So, yeah, everyone's finished shopping.
Are they?
Well, I saw them getting into the car. Now they're not in the car. I'm confused. Anyway, we're going to unplug one way or the other.
Yep.
So yeah, so we'll let it get to 80, and then we will unplug and be on our way. But I was telling Mandy, in case I don't use that bit, I'm going to explain now. It was a little bit of a faff to get plugged in because what happened was, because I was trying to film this all by myself because Mandy was in the shops shopping, just what you do in shops, I
I
plugged...
was getting food.
There's no judgment here. I was just explaining to the lovely audience.
Okay.
I plugged the car in, and because I was trying to film stuff and do stuff and everything with my hands, I left it too long. Like, sort of, I think it times out like after a minute or two. And so, like, sort of just as I started charging, it kind of timed out, and then it was locked, and then I couldn't. My fault, user error. But yeah, all I do is switch the car off.
Yep.
Then it unlocked the charge port, pulled it out.
Generally, turning things off and turning them back on again.
Almost always the answer to almost everything.
And I don't even work in IT.
It may work with other things, not just IT. But yeah, so pretty straightforward. I will now actually start a screen recording very quickly on my phone, so I can shows you. So I can shows you what's going on in the ChargeNet app,
Okay.
and we'll see what that notification was. Please hold caller. This is one of the reasons why you do want to order the key fob from places, just in case, because if there isn't a decent cell signal,
Yes,
or your
that's true.
phone's what have you, it makes it a lot easier for you to just get in. And so we're just going to tap at the bottom there because that is our charge session, and there we go. So we can see that it has cost us, it's 90 cents per kilowatt with these faster ones, and we're down to 66 kilowatt 65. So
Okay,
now
it's definitely slowing down.
Economically, it makes more sense to unplug.
Yes. Also, we're exactly at 80%.
We're exactly at 80%. So I'm going to tap on stop charging, unplug it, plug back in, and we're ready to be on our way.
Amazing.
But yeah, so that's cost us $25.36 for that much. It'll be on the screen. Sorry, my
Yes.
brain and numbers not so good right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it didn't take us very long to get from, I think we were at like 54 to 80.
Yep.
But now if we wanted to get from 80 all the way up to 100,
It's going to take a lot
it's going to take
longer.
another 23 minutes.
23 minutes,
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. See you in a bit. Cool. Well, we will be on our way. We are not very far away. We are only 44, decent bit of drive, but yeah, we're only 49 kilometers away, 44 minutes. So let's
Off we go.
head off on our holiday.
Yeah.
As you can see, look, I mean, New Zealand really is just... I'm lost for words with how pretty
It's beautiful.
everything is.
The road, not so much. And this is a gravel road, but
It was also amusing that as we were about to get onto the gravel road, there was a sign, because it was like 30 k's an hour the whole way because they were doing work on the road, because there was gravel kind of thing. But now we're onto a gravel road, and just before we went onto the gravel road, it said, you can go 100 now. And I was like, I will.
it's like, you can go 100 now, but there's swerving. Oh, and gravel.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are 1 minute away from our destination, according to Apple Maps, so who knows where we are. But we are 1.2 kilometres. My brother and his wife are very excited that we now have phone reception because all the text messages are coming through.
So I just need to read one of the messages though. It does say, we're in the middle of nowhere. It feels like the start of a horror movie.
See, I was thinking that. So I brought walkie-talkie, so they've got a walkie-talkie and I've got a walkie-talkie in the car because it's just nice sometimes to just kind of for the kids to chat to each other on road trips. And I was thinking that, but I didn't want to give my sister-in-law any ideas. Love you, Wuffa, but we're all scared of you.
Yeah, but she'll protect us. That's the thing.
Thank goodness Wuffa's here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. She can protect us because she's strong.
Yes.
She's very strong.
And fearless.
Exactly.
Absolutely fearless. But yeah, so in terms of range and all the car stuff, which was actually I think what most of you tuned in for, sorry about that. So we are down to 71%, big deal. We could plug in at the place we're staying. We didn't think to message them and ask permission.
Yeah.
We could if we desperately wanted to. Really nice thing with the Kias in New Zealand, they ship with a granny charger, which is the kind of charger that you use just to plug into the wall.
Yep.
But they also ship them, and I chatted to them about that. They said, yeah, we do this deliberately, with an AC cable. So a level 2 cable, so you can plug into level 2 chargers as well, because a lot of people might not realize that a lot of the slower 7/11 kilowatt chargers, those with a lot of them you need to bring your own cable.
Yeah.
So with a Kia in New Zealand,
they give you the cable.
they give you the cable,
which is really nice.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we could plug in if we wanted to.
But we're fine.
We're fine. Like we don't actually need to. I mean,
Yeah.
It depends on how much driving we're going to do around the place. Now apparently, according to Apple Maps, our destination is on the right.
Yeah.
Look for numbers. Okay, I think
I'm
that.
gonna say that's.
I think this is it.
No,
Or no,
no,
that's not it.
that-
I think this is it.
this.
The one that
maybe-
says for sale.
I don't know if the one that says for sale. Maybe the other one.
The one, what, the same one?
That's that. That's it.
I think this is it.
Yep. And there is no reception.
Just turn the coffee.
Like. There is no
We
reception.
will move over to the side as best we can to give my brother space. There's no way we're giving them enough space.
No.
How much is the drop down there? Can we?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, you can kind
So if I go off the concrete bit,
You should.
hang on, just
okay.
just give me a minute. I'll back up a bit and go more left. I'll go off the concrete bit. See, walkie-talkies are great. Everyone should have them.
They are great, but I'm just concerned that we have, like, no reception
And not a lot of space. And
very little space.
yeah, no, see, it's fine. It's fine. We're all good. We're all good. This is a front-wheel drive.
Ah.
Whoa, okay, that was a bit fun.
Ah.
But no, I think we're okay.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. I think that's hopefully given them enough space. Yes, I know. Park.
Okay.
And
We're here
we're here.
with like 1 bar of reception.
So this is a really cool feature.
But
I
how's it
think.
going to parking assist us if we're parked? Sorry.
Not in this instance, no, but generally. So yeah, so this is really cool what it does. So you've got the side camera, you've got the front camera, and even with that you can change it to all front, all back, all sides. Ah, that was... What in heaven's name was going on there? So my sister's getting out of the car. See, I told you she's scary. Right, well, we have arrived. We'll probably wrap this up in some other way, but yeah, we should unpack and sort stuff out. So
Yeah.
we'll see you
Fine.
then. Hello. So we've had a lovely 3 days?
Yep.
4 days?
3 nights.
3 nights, 4 days.
Yep.
We've had a lovely time.
We have.
Yes, we've had a lovely time. Interestingly enough, we ended up doing a lot more driving on this trip than we were expecting to do.
Yep.
Because my brother and his wife, lovely folks, none of us realized the Airbnb that we were booking was in the middle of nowhere.
Literally, there was nothing. I mean, there were a few houses.
Hey, there was like a whole school across the road from us.
There
but-
was a school across the road of us, but there was nothing else.
Yeah, and in the sense that we'd have to drive for almost, well, about 40 minutes just to get to a shop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful location though, absolutely
Beautiful.
stunning.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
And there was a hot tub, and the kids loved the hot tub.
Yeah. But like to get to the beach was a drive of an hour and 4 minutes each way.
Yeah.
Not that we're complaining, I'm just explaining why we ended up doing a lot more driving than we were expecting. So, but
Which is kind of good for a car review / overview,
Yes.
because we really did use the car.
yeah, and I can't remember if we talked about sort of the storage spaces around the car. I wanted to sort of cover this bit in particular because the storage is an interesting thing because it is such a large car and there's loads of nice, cute little nooks and crannies and all that sort of stuff. Yet, I sort of feel that it would have been nice if they'd made them just a little bit bigger, you know? So,
Yeah.
for example, the bit in the door where you would put the drink bottle, I mean, my drink bottle is
Ginormous.
and doesn't fit anywhere, so you can't judge it
But
for
it doesn't
that.
even fit wouldn't even fit a regular drink bottle.
Yeah.
There's, there's a lack of storage in the center console. And maybe there's storage that is in the other models.
Other models. Possibly, but
for
they-
this one, it just feels as if there's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think, and there are lots of storage spaces, but it would have been more helpful, I think, if some of them were a bit larger and
Yeah,
sort of
because
different.
there is storage in the frunk,
We have the front,
but it's not a massive storage space, and
we're kind of spoiled. Like
We are spoiled
for
with the-
non-Teslas. The front
great.
is really big.
Yeah.
The Tesla one is unique in that it's ginormous. And I think I mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again just in case. The things that are in the frunk when we got this, and this is what they come with, is it comes with a granny charger, so you can plug it into just a wall socket and charge it like that. But it also comes with an AC cable, a level 2 charging cable, because a lot of level 2 chargers don't have cables included.
And I know people, friends of mine, who on their first EV road trip did all the right things of looking to see where chargers were, etc., but had no idea that didn't come with a cable.
Yeah. So big ups to Kia New Zealand,
Yeah.
because they did mention that is like something that they very specifically, you know, they did that was done with thought and intention.
Yeah.
So the storage space, and I'll show you stuff in the boot in a bit. I might switch to that now. So this is the boot and the space you got in the boot. So again, it's got plenty of space, but it's just, I think if they just sort of moved the back seats just like 2 or 3 inches forward, just gave us that little bit extra, I think that would have made all the difference. So I'm just going to pull stuff out to give you an idea of what this looks like and how much space you've got in the little nooks and crannies and side things and all that kind of stuff. No, that's fine. You can come in a bit closer. So just going to put those there so they don't wheel away. So man, just come in here. So come in. So you've got these little pockets here. So you've got a nice little pocket there. You've got a nice little pocket here. You've got a nice little pocket there, up there. And then in terms of underfloor space, you've got that, which is nice. And then you've also got this, which is nice. And then I think this can fit in here.
Oh, that's quite nice.
But it's weird because, like, coming a little bit close here, like, I would imagine that would fit on there, but, and I've tried it the other way around, so it's, I don't know, it's a bit odd. But yeah, so you actually, even though, you know, it'd be nice if it went sort of more that way, you've still got quite a lot of sort of little under spaces and things like that in the boot.
Yep.
Yeah. And now, theoretically, we're back from the boot. No do to boot it for our Canadian viewers.
Okay.
And we're about to get to, oh, someone wasn't paying attention. We're about to go to probably our last charging thing for the trip.
Yep.
Because you were saying, like, the biggest thing for you with this car, or one of the biggest things, is the range.
The range. Now, I want to just preface this with the fact that we talked at the beginning of this video how, and in other videos, oh, we don't care about range anymore. It's not a big issue. Range isn't an issue. Range isn't a concern because you don't need to charge. You don't need to have a full battery every day, etc., etc. However, this car has incredible range. You
Don't know what that truck's doing. Maybe they're repairing it.
They're not electric.
Yeah. But they're there, so maybe it's just that they're repairing it.
Oh, maybe they are. I don't know. But anyway, so the car's range is incredible. It is.
Oh no, they are plugged in.
They are plugged in.
Oh wow, that's an electric van. Cool.
I was busy
How
saying
nice. Sorry.
stuff.
Sorry.
It's okay. All I'm going to say is the range is incredible. It's a fabulous family road trip car because you don't actually have to worry about it. And if you're staying in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't matter. You're not going to run out of battery. Because it does at full charge have 600 kilometre range,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah. Again, we haven't tested that 600 thing,
No, but it's...
but the way we've driven it, it would seem to suggest that
We've driven highway driving, we've driven on gravel roads, we've driven on lots of twists and turns, we've done a bit of stop-start, we've done rural, and we haven't worried.
Yeah, not an issue. We'll talk more about range, but first of all, let me show you the process of plugging it in. It's going to be a bit interesting because, so the charger's in front of us on our left, and the charging port is on the front, but on the right-hand side of the car. So
Okay.
we're going to see how well that reaches or doesn't reach. But yeah, I'll show you the process of plugging it in and charging it, which is an absolute doddle, except for the first time when I tried where it was user error. But yeah, we'll show you in a sec.
Okay.
So pretty straightforward. You get the cable. Now, I like these cables because they've got these arms that come out, so it's easier to get at a bit of a distance, but sometimes it's not that much of a distance. So I do have to kind of just come around. I'll show you. What I've found the easiest way to do it is to mount the cable like this. I have no shame, so my dignity is not an issue. Just to hold it so I can get it where I need to get it. And then, man, if you can come around, I'll show you here. So yeah, come around that side. So it's got little pluggy things. You get those out of the way. You pop that in, and then you come onto the app, which I should start recording. And then you pick the one that you're on, and this is the number one. And it says, yep, start, because car detected. We push start, and it says, yep, start charging. And that, it's green, so it's showing that it's connected, and it's saying session started. And the car should actually pipe up and say, start charging, or something around that. Oh, yeah, I can hear things whirring up. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Click, click. Don't know if you heard that, but hopefully you heard that through the microphone. And there we go, it started charging. Now let's jump in the car and see what kind of speeds we're getting and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting because you generally want to plug in when the car is at a lower battery state. So we plugged in at 47%. So I don't think it's going to get super fast in terms of the charging rate. But man, if you come over to this side, yeah, so you can see it looks like the car's kind of hovering oh, the speed's going up and down a lot. That's interesting.
Because there's another car plugged in, maybe.
That shouldn't make it, like, these charges are supposed to be pretty darn quick. And there we go, it's picking up now. So now we're up to 86, 87. And it's interesting because when we first got the car, it said that the predicted range at 100% was like 636. But obviously because we've been driving it, quite a lot of highway driving, not a lot of stop-start, the predicted range has dropped. But I appreciate that because it's sort of more realistic. What I like here is that it actually shows us a prediction of it's going to take 21 minutes to get to 80%. And then, but it's going to take 43 minutes to get to 100%. So it's giving you an idea of, right, if you just want to get to 80, you want to charge fast and be on your way, that's what you need. But if you want to stay for the whole time, that's what you need. So I really like that feature.
Yes.
So that was a look at some of the charging sort of side of things. And this is the fast charger with, you know, with a Type 2 charger. I might actually take the car to a Type 2 charger before we leave New Zealand and just show you that experience if I do. If I do, it's going to pop in now. Or it didn't pop in, maybe it did, who knows, and we're back. And so we'll try and sort of wrap this up a little bit. I mean, normally we wrap it up when we sort of get to our destination, but
Yeah.
it's all been really, really pretty straightforward and stock down. I'm not expecting any dramas
No.
on the way home. But so what are your overall thoughts?
Okay, so overall, it's
Want to take your sunnies off?
okay. I'll take my sunnies off. God. All right. Okay. Take two. Overall, what do I think? It's not a cut and dried situation for me. There are a lot of, I mean, we're coming from having an EV and having driven a number of different EVs. There are a lot of little things that I find a bit annoying. But they're kind of, you know, we've had a little bit of trouble with the immobilizer, figuring out how to get the immobilizer not to immobilize the car. And that could be a little bit of user error. It could be a bit because this is a review car.
This is a review car, and so I think it was, yeah. I think it's I don't know if owners would have the same experience.
Yeah.
And what I found is I did a bit of Googling, and basically all I need to do, or at least so far it's worked pretty well, is that I just hold the key up against the steering wheel when I turn the car on, and that seems to sort it out. It took a while to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things in the UI and that I think I've mentioned before that I'm not quite sure why. You know, you have some certain settings that don't save. That's a Kia EV thing. It's not an EV5 thing or anything else. But for me, this is just an amazing family road trip car. This is, you know, if you've got any concerns about, like if you're looking at your first EV and you're saying, we're replacing a family car, can this withstand what we need? Yes.
Yeah.
This car, without a doubt, is a fabulous family road trip car.
Yeah.
This has been the smoothest road trip that we've had. It drives beautifully.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable. There's space. Yes, I'd love a bit more boot space, but I mean, those are kind of swings and roundabouts. Archie's been really comfy the whole time. I've been comfy the whole time. It's been fabulous, and I think that I've got little niggling bits, but the pros for this car massively outweigh the cons for me.
No such thing as a perfect thing.
No such thing as a perfect thing.
So it's interesting because my sort of take on it is very similar to you in the sense that I think, you know, I'm a bit of a techie, nerdy kind of guy. So I like all the bells and whistles and I like buttons and things like that. I really do wish that Kia overall would add a feature to their UI in the sense that once you change a setting, it stays changed.
Yep.
There are some that do and some that don't, so it'd just be nice if they all sort of stay the same. I do find that most of the ones that don't change are sort of safety related things, so I can see how, you know, maybe legally they're not allowed to let you leave it like that, but then I'm like, well, then why can I change it if I can't? Anyway, it's an interesting sort of thing to think about. So yeah, all the safety. Other than that, like, I love the look. Like, I just like the it's like almost like industrial and very sharp and very sort of straight, boxy, and I really like the look of it, and I love how. And
I didn't like the look of it at first, and it's grown on me.
To it?
It's grown on me for sure.
Like just the whole, I think they've kept the design ethos of the car, and it's a very much a taste sort of thing. You know, some people like olives, some people don't.
Olives are gross.
Olives are amazing. You see. And we still live together. It's, you know, and Archie's somewhere in the middle. He's the next generation who will bring, you know, togetherness. But I really love the UI, and I really like little things that they have done that sort of thinks about the EV experience and people who might be new to EVs and things like that. They don't. Yeah, they've thought about it, like just the little thing that shows you how the time that you've got left to 80% and the time you've got left to 100% with the charging. I love like some of the UI stuff that you've got like in the settings. Wireless Carplay.
Yeah.
I had an interesting thought about that because my first thought was, I'm frustrated that it's got wireless CarPlay,
but not wireless
charging. Having said that, for long trips, that makes sense. But just for a short drive, I can just leave my phone in my pocket.
Yeah.
So you don't have to charge your phone for like
every single time you're driving.
For like a 20-minute, half-hour drive kind of thing. And so it's actually really kind of cool to have. It would be nice to have both, but I'd rather have wireless CarPlay than wireless charging.
Yes, that's been lovely. like it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I really like the cameras.
Yes.
So the top-down view when you're
Yes.
parking, all that kind of stuff.
Parking cameras are fab.
Really helpful, really useful. All the bings and the bongs, like when you're getting sort of close, like my brother sort of drove this for like a day kind of thing before he picked the car up for us, and then he picked us up from the airport, and he said like the car was making him anxious when he was trying to park.
But
kind
again,
of
I
thing.
think it's something you get used to, right? With any new car, especially if you've come from a car that doesn't have a lot of bings and bongs, you do get used to it and you learn, okay, hang on, it's binging at me at this stage, but that's actually fine. It's only when it actually gets to the bong stage that I need to be paying attention.
Yeah.
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 It's been nice to have, I will say, it's been nice to have this car for a decent amount of time because when we've gotten cars in the past, it's often been a very quick turnaround. It's been a week or around about a week. And by the time you've picked up the car, gotten it back, done all that kind of stuff, it's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you've got to find ways to test the car out properly. I feel like this has been a really good trip to really test the car, because had you asked me at the beginning of the trip, what do you think of the car? I would have been like, not a great review, because my first impressions. Having had the car for about 2 weeks now, my whole perspective has changed.
Yeah. It's we had a chance to kind of live with it.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
USB ports on the back of both seats, so Archie's able to charge his stuff, and someone else is in there, they can charge their stuff as well. The back seats do tilt back. That was one of Archie's first comments. He felt he was sitting really sort of straight up, but you can tilt them back quite nicely. So that's, as we said, very comfortable. I'm trying to think what else. It's all, yeah. I mean, there's the center console. Again, I'm sort of confused as to why there's no storage down here. Like this is just like the arm comes up and there's just that. But you know, little things. No such thing as a perfect thing.
There is no such, and it'd be interesting to see the different models and see what comes in the other models.
So really cool. Oops. So really cool. There's a little storage area back here. So underneath this, for people in the back seat, you can pull it out. I'll play some B-roll now, so we'll show you how it works. And there's like quite a nice little storage area there. What we found is, you know, so you can fit, you know, sort of a fair bit of stuff in there. But in
A
this
small tablet, things like that.
in the top of the line model, that is actually a fridge / warmer. So you could keep your pie warm, or you keep your drinks cool.
That's interesting.
Which is pretty cool. And again, with the whole car being electric, when you get out, you can leave it going, so it still keeps things
Warm or
going,
cool.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
You do have a little bit of, in the boot, you do have a little bit of storage underneath the boot area. So you do have, I just think it could have been optimized a bit better.
Yeah.
But it's, I think overall, if you're looking for, if you're not really into all the techie stuff like I am, but you're looking for a really comfortable car, a really nice car to drive.
Good family car.
Good family car, loads of space to just chuck stuff in.
Yep.
And again, it's not like the boot, like we keep saying the boot is small.
It's not saying the boot is small.
We just expected it to be bigger because of the size of the car.
Exactly.
But you know, we got stuff in there just fine.
Yeah.
And the thing that I found, and I found a similar thing when we reviewed the EV9.
Yeah.
You know, when we first got it, I was so stressed about how huge this thing was. And I was like terrified to drive it near other cars and all that kind of stuff. Whereas after a couple of days, I felt a little bit of that, not as much, because I knew that this is smaller than
The EV9.
the EV9. But I was also still a bit anxious. But within a couple of days, I'm pretty comfortable with it. I'm happy parking it. I'm happy doing that stuff. It is, I think I mentioned it in earlier in the video, but in case I haven't, it is quite high up. No, I did mention it with the castle on my mum, so that's the thing. Look, I think that's pretty much sort of.
It's not the most expensive car out there. It's not the cheapest. At the moment, I think you said this model in New Zealand, as of January 2026.
About 70,000.
About 70,000.
Plus on-road costs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means because I'm not a car guy.
But it's, for this kind of family car, it's actually, it's not a ridiculous cost.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I've just had a thought. It'd be interesting. I could reach out to Kia Australia. By the way, big thanks to the folks at Kia Australia who helped organise this whole thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the people at Kia New Zealand who reciprocated. It'd be interesting to have a chat to Kia Australia and see if, even just like for a day or two, if we could get the comparative model
Yep.
of this
In
in Australia.
Australia.
Because in Australia, we don't have this exact model. I think it's got, as usual, probably there's a few things that it doesn't have and a few things that it does have and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be interesting just to, I mean, I could even do it on paper, I suppose, just look
Yeah.
at the features kind of thing.
Yeah.
There'd be a spreadsheet somewhere.
There would be. There'd be a table on a website.
Yeah, but yeah, it'd be interesting to look at that.
Yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, so overall,
thumbs up.
yeah, thumbs up. It's we've really enjoyed
Really enjoyed it.
having this car on this trip. It's been a really nice, yeah, it's done everything we've kind of needed it to do.
It's been absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If it has been helpful or useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Safe
Share
and
this with your friends too.
Archie says fingers up. Actually, just in case you're if you're an old viewer and you're used to us doing lots of car stuff, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a new viewer, we don't generally do a lot of car stuff that much anymore.
Yep.
We will start doing a little bit here and there, but it's finding the time, because these videos do take a lot of time to put together, and because I babble on so much, it takes even longer to edit. But I'm the one who edits it, so I suffer my own consequences.
You do.
I'm doing it right now. But yeah, if you're an old viewer, hope you're enjoying the new tech stuff and all that kind of jazz. If there are particular products or cars or anything that you'd like us to look at and review, let us know. I can't guarantee that they'll loan them to us to try it, but we can try.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. So normally we do a little section about. I'm going to swallow our meeting first.
Take a while.
Yeah, well, it's chewy. So normally we do a little section about all the different snacks and stuff that we got to eat on the trip. We weren't actually planning to eat that much on the trip, just because it was such a short trip and there wasn't a lot of driving, all that kind of stuff. But the first place we stopped to get some food for my niece, there was a South African shop right next to it. So, you know, obviously we got Biltong and Dry Horse. Dry Horse wasn't to my taste, a different sort of style. Nice, but just not for me. The Biltong was quite nice.
Yep, I like the biltong.
And as usual, I stopped at some Asian places, but I don't actually have anything within reach, so I can't actually show you, but I will play some B-roll of some of the snacks that we got. This is not good. It's pointless without being able to show it. It's not really the same.
What Asian snacks did you get?
We went with Tian to the. I don't know where I put them, but we got stuff.
Yeah, but I think we've eaten most of it.
All right. Well, we were going to show you the food that we brought, but we've eaten most of it. So.
But we also did buy lots of strawberries, lots of cherries. The cherries have been fabulous.
Fruit's been great.
The fruit's been great. Archie, who does not apparently eat bananas, has apparently, I think, eaten about 10 bananas in the last 3 days. So for those who've been worried in the past about our sodium consumption,
We're fine.
we're fine.
And my brother makes the most amazing chocolate sauce. Basically, it's Whittaker's milk chocolate melted down with milk, and he started throwing in some peanut butter, which I could take it or leave it, but he does a very good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good sort of foodie trip, and
It really has been a good foodie trip. You made a really nice roast lamb last
by
night.
mistake, but not by mistake, but like I wasn't. I had some work to do, so I stayed at the place, and everyone else went to the beach. And my brother texted me at one point again, "Hey, can you cook the lamb that we've got in the fridge?" And I was like, "Cool." You know, what spices do you want me to use? What temperature? All that. He's like, "Google it." So I improvised, and I should have left it in like 5 minutes less because it was a touch overdone.
But it was delicious.
It was very nice.
And he improvised with the ingredients that we had, which, as we may have mentioned, there was nothing around. So we had some carrots and some radishes.
Yeah, basically all I did, took it out of the fridge, let it sit for half an hour. Then I just stabbed it a lot to sort of make little holes in it to get the flavour through.
Okay.
Then I chucked on some garlic salt, some steak garlic seasoning or something, some olive oil, rub it all in on one side, do the same thing on the other side, chuck it in for 20 minutes, take it out, flip it, chuck in the veggies, chuck that all in for 20 minutes, and the veggies, and the olive oil and thing, it's the same thing. Another 20 minutes, and then I put it in for 5 minutes after that. I should have just done 20 and 20 at about 180, 190 fan forced. And it was
So good.
Yeah, so that's the food stuff.
Really pretty.
New Zealand does pretty well.
So well.
If New Zealand Tourist Board wants to steal that,
Yeah. You do pretty well.
you do pretty well. My commission is very reasonable. Yeah. Stuff and
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yes.
Because the following distance button, I initially called it the fart button because it looks as though you're farting or the car in front of you is farting and you want to stay either further or closer away. This is what happens when you live with boys. Everything becomes a fart joke. Anyway.
it really does. So I was thinking
Yes.
about the random bit of information we learned yesterday from our friends. And so, what was I talking about?
You're genetically short.
I'm genetically short, yes. And it doesn't look all that long because I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm driving towards the light.
Oh God. T-shirt time?
Hello. Should probably say more than that.
I mean, I've heard it's useful.
I'm pretty pretentious, but no, if I had the money, I would be that pretentious. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
Look at us knowing car
Oh,
stuff.
I know.
Yeah, we would not have known that. At least I definitely wouldn't have known that before I started this channel.
No.
Yeah, so
I'm sure it's broke. I'm sure it's pushed some actual useful information out of my head.
yeah, it's been a while since I've tied my shoelaces. I wanted to quickly mention something, dear viewers, that everyone's a critic. So we were driving over the Harbour Bridge here in Auckland, and we were driving towards it, and I like to put on some boppy music, and the whole family bops along, and it's a lovely time. We all have a lot of fun. We're all dancing a bit. My hand is still on the wheel. I'm paying attention. It's all very safe. But suddenly, as we're getting over the bridge, the car just starts beeping at me, and I see this little icon on the dashboard that shows like a coffee cup, like an orange coffee cup, like a warning coffee cup.
Yep.
Apparently,
It's a driver distracted warning.
yeah, it's driver distracted warning. So the car thought me bopping around a bit and enjoying myself to some music was a bit too much.
So, I mean, it's a good thing in some respects. Not in the situation, but it is a warning that comes up, and if it notices that you are drowsy or have inattentive driving, feels that it might be.
I think the car thought I was having an epileptic fit. It was criticizing my dancing. I am very hurt and
But
offended.
it warns you to say, hey, it might be a good idea to pull over, have a rest, have a stretch.
It's a good thing to have.
It's a good thing to have.
Unless you have African blood and you need to dance to the tune of every beat. I grew up in Africa, so it's like I can't. I hear music and I gotta move. I gotta move.
You were moving quite vibrant.
Oh, you know,
Anyway,
feel beaten and away you go. But yes, I thought I'd let you know what that. If you get the coffee thing, that's what it's saying. It doesn't like you dancing.
I don't think it's.
No, that's what. If you get the coffee thing on the dashboard, it's saying it doesn't like you dancing and you should stop. Or you should get a different car that has good taste in dancing. That's also an option. You know?
Thank you, anyway.
You don't. I'm the one driving.
Anyway.
I said good day, sir.
Good day.